Good afternoon, everyone. No, it's morning. I'm so used to saying good afternoon, I think. I don't usually record in the mornings. I think I'll be doing a little bit more of that. Just because I don't want to keep my partner awake at night while I do late evening recordings. I have moved. The move is complete. Consider this Dark Souls 2 livestream recording to be something of an update video as well. The only reason, and of course I do realize the lighting is not ideal right now, there is a story behind that. It's a non-permanent downgrade, I can tell you. It's a temporary downgrade. There you go, that's the word I was looking for. Where do I start? So, the reason why I chose to actually record something for this game, instead of just doing an update video, like a proper, in this case, live stream recording of Dark Souls 2, the reason why I'm doing that instead of an update video is purely because I don't want to just overload you with update videos. I want to actually do something productive, and recording this, I feel, is more productive than, say, dicking around in Morrowind, or, as was the case last time, literally just sitting there with a still screen of Morrowind, because apparently my live stream setup deteriorated terribly, literally while I was live, which was not ideal. I'm actually going to keep the playback on screen. No, I don't need to, now that I think about it. I've just verified that everything's fine with the live stream, so I think I'm comfortable with it. To speak to the situation with my lighting, my visual appearance as you see it now, the reason why it looks the way it does is because I literally don't have a working light in my room. We moved in, and the light in this room literally has a non-working and very non-standard light in it. So I need to figure out how to change it. I'd like to try and get the landlord to pay for it if possible, because it's a non-standard light, and it's apparently rated for 10,000 hours. Well, it's dead. So yeah, I'm very annoyed about that. So I'm literally working with two light sources. Natural lighting, which is very problematic for those of you who used to watch me, I'd say, well, yeah, before 2022, you will know that there were times when I would work with natural lighting. It's a fucking nightmare. So, yeah, it's way different, P-Berry, and that's essentially what I'm explaining right now. The situation is that when you're working with natural lighting, it's going to be substandard, and I'm also using a lamp to work with the green screen. So the green screen does need to be illuminated to a certain degree in order to actually be recognized as the color green. So I'm doing that. It's old school. It's the way that I used to have to do it, depending on the lighting conditions of my room, back when I was not at the last place, but at the place before that. So, yeah. It's only temporary, as I said. It's because I don't actually have a room light right now, and I don't have any sort of studio light or anything like that, which really I feel is supposed to be an additional light source, not a sole light source. So it's alright, I'm working with it. I just decided that it would be good to have something to go live with rather than nothing. Of course, there was also the option to go live without me actually having a camera view, but to me, the way it looks right now is not so offensive that it requires that sort of measure to be taken. Drinking gin out of a glass like this as well. It's because all of my glasses are currently still packed. I don't really want to fill them, or rather I don't want to fill my cupboards with those glasses. I want to get a separate drinks cabinet or something like that, and fill my glasses there. Or fill it with my glasses. Sorry if I'm speaking strangely, I haven't recorded recently. This is a bit of a warm-up session as well. One thing that is very important, and I am going to get into the game a little bit here with what I'm saying, I need to start working on this character. I have been just going through the game very lazily. I'm not going to say I haven't progressed in any sort of way with my character, but progression has been minimal. I've just been doing whatever is required for me to be able to get to the next stage of the game without being at a severe disadvantage. But this is supposed to be a faith build. I haven't actually... I'm equipping things that I don't mean to equip because I'm used to using circle to select and not X. Probably not the first time I've said that in this livestream series. I'm also not playing with any sound, by the way, because I had to unplug my speakers to plug in that lamp. When I set up the recording, the natural light was sufficient to illuminate the green screen, but then the light shifted, and that's one thing you don't actually realize with natural lighting. I mean, you know, but you don't think about it. Until you actually need to rely on it, you realize that it constantly changes. It's a nasty reminder of what I used to have to deal with. And you couple that with a live stream context, or in a situation where you are live and it has to just work right then and there, it's quite nasty, and it was cause for a lot of frustration in the past. As I say, that's only while this light is not working. This is it was a solution that I came up with on the fly, and it works as far as I'm concerned. Now, I haven't actually taken any time to consider what I'm doing with this character before going live here, so I would literally just be going based on what I see, which is what you also see, and also based on vague memories of what my plans were for the build. Obviously, one major way in which we can improve this build is by... Oh, that's what I was doing, I remember now. I'm in the dragon area so that I can gain access to the giant memories, and once I can do that, I can actually grind the giant lord for souls. And that is the best way to actually level up your character in this game. By far. In fact, it skews the balancing a little bit. You reach a point with your character that in other games you would have to go through several levels of new game before you could reach that point. And what it does is it blurs the line between a new game and New Game Plus playthrough. And that's without even considering the presence of bonfire ascetics, which blurs the line even further. So it does feel as if there is a lack of balance to character progression when you follow that, or if you pursue that strategy that I'm talking about, where you grind the giant lord. It's crazy, but I also enjoy it. So there you are. As I said, I'm not playing with any sound. I don't know if there's going to be any audio cues that you're going to hear that I'm not going to hear, which will leave you to go, Doomlink, turn around. Why are you not turning around? There is imminent danger, etc. I was perfectly well placed to do what I did. I was just... Oh, for fuck's sake. Alright, I know what needs to be done. It's fine. I attacked too soon. Or rather, I overestimated the range of my weapon. That's a fact. So what I now have to do, as frustrating as it might be, is actually return to Majula and repair my shit. It's awesome, hey? Now, I think it said that my second dragon ring was at risk. It's not true. I would reckon it's broken. I didn't check, but I'm quite sure that it's broken now. Your Ring of Favor and Protection equivalents in this game, which are the dragon rings, are very, very low in terms of their... Yeah. It's the... what's the terminology again? Durability? But it's not quite the word I was looking for either. Low in durability. No, that is, I think, the word I'm looking for. Yeah. So, it's frustrating, but generally you don't have to worry about it. It's something that you need to repair after you go through maybe a whole section, and then you'll have a look and realize that the ring is quite low in its durability and needs to be repaired. But you see, when you encounter enemies like the one I just encountered, you are going to have to deal with broken rings. The idea is to not get hit at all. That is the solution. I will repair my Jester's gloves as well, because when they are broken, they are not going to function in any sort of meaningful way. If I seem a bit scattered, it's because literally, yesterday was the first day after maybe a 5 to 7 day period where I was actually able to slow down a little bit. The move has been intensive. There's been so much on my plate, so much time-sensitive stuff to get taken care of, and it was hard work and a little bit overwhelming at times, but not such that I would despair. It was just... it took up all of my time outside of going to work. So on top of all that, of course, I was working. So, and still am, by the way. But it's just, yeah. Oh, actually, let's just go in there and be aggressive. If you hesitate, I think when you are on the retreat, and I was able to demonstrate this after being hit the first time during my previous confrontation, if you're on the back foot and try to get away, there's every likelihood that he's going to launch forward and still hit you. So the best solution to deal with those guys is actually just to be aggressive. Now, when I was talking about improving my character, I was considering working on that before going through the dragon area, and then I remembered that probably the best improvements that I'm going to be able to make to the character are going to be once I have access to the Giant Lord. What I would say is that I want to be able to get more spells, more equipment, whilst simultaneously having access to that soul grinding area. And I think that's just going to be the ideal setup. I generally don't even go around here, and now I realize why. It's because there's nothing over here. At least I don't think so. Oh, I am using a phone that is slowly but surely putting itself in standby. That is really unhelpful when I'm trying to monitor chat, so let me fix that now. Screen timeout is not going to be 10 minutes. It's really 30 minutes is... What happened to never? Seriously? It's a different device to my usual phone. My usual phone, just to add to the difficulties of life, you know, the battery on that phone completely died. I was having battery issues with that phone, but I kept on delaying the replacement of the battery, which come to think of it, I bought a fucking replacement battery, and I just got informed that I've been refunded the cost of that battery, which means that I've probably had my order cancelled, so I need to fucking fix that and get another battery. That's going to delay me even further. But anyway, the point is that that phone did not have any sort of standby going on. I was able to select an option that says, do not put this device in standby when there's no input. But apparently this one, and again that's a Xiaomi device, still Android, but it seems like Samsung Android devices don't have that option. At least upon a cursory examination of the options that I had in the display section of settings, there might be a way to make it so that doesn't happen. I'm very hot, by the way. There's not much airflow here. I mean, there's airflow, but it's hot in this room. Ugh. I'm not sure how the sound is, by the way. I didn't even test it, I have to tell you. Didn't test it at all. So hopefully it sounds fine. Okay. Sorry, I'm being distracted by things on my phone. Let's open the live stream now. What do you mean, sound? The sound is incredibly low. What are you talking about? Do you mean the game sound? Because my sound is fine. What I was actually referring to in that moment, and I'm not taking issue with feedback from you, my vocal audio is fine. But the game audio is also fine. I'm looking at the levels now, so... Maybe there's just ambient sound that you haven't been able to hear. Are you sure that the game volume is incredibly low? The game volume is incredibly low. I don't think so. It was loud enough that I was considering lowering it. So, I don't know. I mean, I can only go based on my audio levels in OBS, and they seem perfectly reasonable. Allow this confrontation to be a sound test. Can you hear that? So, I don't know how these guys are for thunder damage. What I should mention, by the way, is that in this open area, where I'm currently fighting this dragon, there are a number of crystal lizards that you want to kill, but obviously you can't kill them while you're simultaneously dealing with this dragon. So, oh, I was not expecting a second part to that attack. That tail is going to hit me if I'm not careful. The crystal lizards, if you do not kill them, will respawn again. So they only... Obviously they have a finite number of spawns, or respawns, however you want to say that. And if they are allowed to disappear in this game anyway, it's not the case in some of the other games, that's not going to affect the number of times they respawn. Ow. So after this confrontation, I will return to the bonfire, just to reset these lizards. And he's dead. There are a few things to pick up around here as well, I will do that. We just got a petrified dragon bone, and a petrified something. Petrified something, we'll find out if it's going to be useful once we've actually exchanged it with the crows, but for now, the petrified dragon bone, very, very helpful. Of course, that's what we need to upgrade this weapon, and it may very well be the case that we only needed one more petrified dragon bone left to upgrade it. So, I might double check that. 3 sounds about right, I'd say that's what I need. Something to pick up here, the dragon tooth, remember that from Dark Souls? Well, I'd say it's just as useless here as it was there, but I could always be wrong. We're looking at a descaling, defaultly with strength, with a strength requirement of 50. It's... oh, okay, so resistance to magic and fire is given to the wielder when equipped, which I actually didn't know about. I don't know if that's new to this game, or if that's how it originally was. I don't remember it being that. If it is from the original game, that particular effect, I didn't know about it, or I completely forgot, one of the two. The Faith run's okay, Arexian. I've been very lazy with it. I think someone drew my attention to that in a previous comment section. It was some guy who was taking issue with my poor performance in the Shrine of Amana, and he chose to criticize my build setup as a result of my poor performance. He was just like, oh, what do you expect with this loadout? I think he even attacked my weapon. He's like, you have a +1 weapon. It's like, okay, but I'm at a point in the game where that's not quite unreasonable when you're using, you know, a boss weapon. You know, I would say that of all the criticisms he could have made, saying you've got a +1 weapon was not exactly the most... it wasn't the salient criticism to make in that moment. So, I would say that my build is low effort. That's only because I've been recording... I will make this very clear, because there is a clear reason why this has been a build where I have not done much with it. It's because I would record about once every month or two, and because it had been a while, I wasn't deeply involved with the build mentally. You know, I would sort of forget what I was last doing, and by the time I would sit down and record, I would actually just want to play the game, and that would pretty much involve continuing through the game rather than taking the time to build my character. Building my character sometimes requires a bit of reference checking. You know, I would check websites and weapon lists and armor lists and spell lists, and quite frankly that doesn't make for as entertaining gameplay as, for example, just going through the game and knowing what I'm doing at each moment. Now, as I'm progressing through the game, I know precisely what to do next because I know how to progress through the game. It's more fun for me and more fun for you guys, but I'm starting to feel the effects of that now. We are at the Dragon Airy, and it's not feeling like much of a Faith build. Yes, I have a lightning weapon. Yes, I do have a lightning spear, and I'm availing myself of the convenience of the Homewood Miracle. But it's still not a proper Faith build. It's not a fully developed Faith build, and I would go on to say that it could be more developed than it is now, based on where I am in the game. Looks like we had a gift sub. I don't know, actually. For some reason, like, I'm not logged into Twitch, I'm just watching my live stream and the chat. So it's not telling me if, yeah, it looks like there was a gift sub given to Arexian by Peaberry. And I will also thank you for that as well. See, this is what I fucking hate about this particular game. It's the way that you can be standing directly in front of an enemy, and for one reason or another, it may just not even allow you to hit the enemy at all, because your weapon is being unwieldy. Unwieldy? Well, that was a blank spot in my knowledge of words. But, yeah, it's just been uncooperative, I guess you could say. Keep in mind, these are all random pickups, so just hope for something good, I suppose. It's not unreasonable, by the way, to asceticize this part of the dragon area in order to get these lizards to respawn, because their loot is useful at this point in the game still, because I don't think you're able to just purchase as many stones as you want from, what's her name, Cloanne, I think. Stone Trader Cloanne. If it is not Stone Trader Cloanne, and it is in fact something entirely different, I do not have an explanation to give to you as to how I reached the word Cloanne in my mind as the name of that person. Excellent, we got a petrified dragon bone. That's really what I want the most. I think a lot of the weapons that I want to make, I'm not going to say a lot of, but there are at least 2 or maybe 3 weapons that I want to make that will require petrified dragon bones, so that's important. Happy to get those. This lizard is having a problem, but he is dead, so it's only in death that he is wiggling around. Which is to say he's not suffering. We got a Titanite slab. Now, if this were Dark Souls, that would be cause to start screaming, but this is not Dark Souls, this is Dark Souls 2. And having said that, though, I think my last run of Dark Souls, I had incredible luck with Titanite slabs. I seem to recall that in killing about 35 to 45 Dark Wraiths, I got 3 Titanite slabs, which is almost unheard of. Just incredible luck. I've never had luck like that before in Dark Souls, and that's coming from someone who's put about 2,000 hours into the game. So, probably more, to be honest. Heroics in the chat says, kill the Dark Dragon. I don't know who the Dark Dragon is, but I have been not requested to kill the Dark Dragon, but in fact instructed to kill the Dark Dragon, so I will endeavor to do that. I am here to please. Now, the only way to get to this thing is to... oh, I could be wrong. I thought it was... no, it is that, I think. Yeah, you have to basically take this little rope, this almost zip line looking thing. It's a line without the zip. Well, you do zip, but there's nothing to grab onto. You're literally sliding with your hands. In Scholar of the First Sin, and it's very funny, there is a whole line of these enemies that come pouring out of this hole, and it's really entertaining. It immediately stops being entertaining if you get hit by any of them, but up until that point, it's really quite funny. Funny to watch. All good. Thanks for tuning in, Arexion. Again, I'll say this, any concerns that any of you have with the quality of the live stream right now, whether it be in terms of the audio or in terms of the visual quality, please be assured that it is only temporary. It will improve. I mean, to be honest, it looks fine. To me, I'm fine with it. I got a little nervous when Peabury was like, this is different to what I remember, but I think it's okay. It's tolerable. There's slight room for improvement, but look, given the circumstances, I'm actually quite happy with it. I should mention that I'm probably going to aim for an hour and a half live stream today, just because I've got stuff to do. But it would have been a full 2-hour live stream, but it took me a little bit longer to set up than I expected, which I shouldn't be surprised by, because this is the first time I've actually gone live here with my new setup, which I ought to also mention is not completely finalized yet. I'm still working on getting all of my stuff into the room and getting everything organized. I did actually miss a couple. Fuck! I just refreshed the chat while I. This is brilliant. Now I'm reading it. I absolutely hate modern technology. Oh, it drives me insane. So I'm swiping up the chat, but in so doing, I've swiped down the web page, which refreshes it, which removes the chat history. For fuck's sake. Absolutely ridiculous. Now I'm watching an ad on my own live stream. Disney Plus. What's this? The Artful Dodger. I literally am struggling to give a shit. Alright. If I do appear to be hot, by the way, it's because I am hot. It's really warm in this room right now. Hello. You caught me by surprise, and now my second dragon ring is broken. Seriously. These guys are not to be trifled with. I think I have, no, I don't have another dragon ring to use, so my only recourse at this point is just to equip something different. Seriously. Okay, yeah. Silver Serpent Ring. We are far enough away from the last bonfire for it to be completely unhelpful for us to return to it. So I will push on. This is the second location where you can actually get crystal lizards. I will see what we're dealing with. I'd like to get a crystal lizard and also deal with this dragon. So I think what I'll do is I'll go two-handed and I will get in there and dispatch this crystal lizard. I don't quite have the stamina for this. You can actually see that this whole setup, and I shouldn't be surprised, I really, really shouldn't be surprised. That was pretty much a perfect trap. It was an obvious one, I walked into it, and I guess what I would say is that how I dealt with that situation is precisely how From Software predicted that I would approach the situation, and then they just had the dragon breathe fire on my face and kill me. Because the fire breathing, it didn't stop after the first time I got hit. So there you are. The moral of the story is do not actually try to kill that crystal lizard until you've dealt with the dragon. The dragon does not respawn, so you will be able to return later on. Oh, for fuck's sake. I need to go and get some souls now because I don't have any on my person. I do realize that I'm covering the soul counter, just to know that I had 0 because I just died, in case that was not immediately obvious to you. We want to repair our ring. I'll be around. Now, I do not have my sound on, but I do know how he himself sounds when he talks. I'll be around. Quite frankly, I never found myself concerned or uncertain as to whether or not you would be around when I next needed your services, and that's because you're an NPC and that is where you are supposed to be. But thank you for contributing to my immersion by saying, I'll be around, as if you would not be around, like you're an actual person who has other places to go and other places to be, and perhaps, you know, needs to take a dump behind the big monument because you don't have toilet facilities in your forgery. Alright, I don't know why I had to mention that. That was, I suppose, inelegant of me to say. I do believe we will... Oh no. Do they not respawn at all? These lizards might not actually respawn. I don't think that one respawned. That must have been one that I missed the last time I was here. So I guess you only get to kill these lizards once. I suppose their loot is considered so... so handsome that... Oh, another petrified dragon bone. Today is my lucky day. If I had the souls, I'd be upgrading this damn sword, but I do not, because I keep dying. So let me... Well, that's not to suggest that I'm losing souls, it's just to suggest that I don't have them on hand when I'm returning to the bonfire. Alright, so we do know that this fellow is engaging me. And there will be another one around the corner further up. Drinking gin out of this glass is just so wrong. It's just... I'm not going to say it's offensive, but it is unpleasant. It just doesn't feel right. It feels like I'm breaking tradition in a way that besmirches the standard that I have set for myself when consuming alcohol through the correct receptacle. Our soul is important, but what's more important is not conducting a reenactment of what happened just before. And how I'm going to avoid that is by Just pick up the soul, that's what's important. Yes, he has been prompted to breathe his fire again. We know why. But we're not going to worry about the crystal lizard. As I said, we will get that later. We just have to be patient with our spoils. I will wait for the next time that I'm here. Just don't forget to do that. You know, it will always be useful for your run to backtrack and get those rewards from those crystal lizards. As long as you don't kill them and then fail to pick up the rewards, you will be able to get them. But if it has reached that point where you've... Do you know what? That is a case to be made against attacking the crystal lizards while dealing with the dragons. Because what if, for example, you've made a miscalculation, you've killed one of the lizards, but then you've died to the dragon? Well, if you didn't actually pick up the rewards from the crystal lizard's not going to respawn, and obviously you're not going to get those rewards back. So it's very important that you just wait for the right scenario in which to deal with the crystal lizards, which, by the way, is when there isn't a fucking raging dragon trying to toast your face. Other way gaming. Soul of a great hero. There's a few directions you can go in here. Well, not a few, there's two that I know of. The best one, in my personal experience, is this one. This is just a... Oh, shit. I am so sick of you, and I'm glad that I rolled through your crap. And I'm also glad that this sword has proven to be more than useless, and in fact capable of doing something at close range. Hi. How's your lightning resistance, my friend? Very high. Either that or I'm just very weak. All possibilities exist. Did that even hit him? Oh shit. I thought he was breathing fire. That would have been problematic. Am I correct in that these guys actually have an animation where they grab you with their jaws and it's almost an insta-kill? I think it might be. It's only when you stand directly in front of them. Like, if you're treating this like a fucking Monster Hunter game and you want to hit this dragon in the face, I think it's possible that there will be an attack animation where he grabs you in his jaws and just fucking destroys you. So based on that, I mean, unless I'm remembering some boss fight that is a dragon, I don't know. You'd think I'd be a little more confident in my recollections of confrontations in this game, but I'm evidently not. If a memory is vague, it means that it could even apply to something totally different to the situation that's unfolding before you. At least that's how it is with me. I don't have the stamina to deal with that, so I'm going to... Oh, God, no. Fortunately, that... I don't even know what I was saying in that moment. It was some sort of expression of fear and anticipation of death. I'm glad that this lizard is still hanging around. Twinkling Titanite, Boltstone, Palestone. I have been picking up a lot of Petrified Dragon Bones, and I'm very happy about that. Waiting for the Game Awards tonight. Here's hoping for Monster Hunter news, says P-Berry in response to that. Well, I don't know if it's just the same event that everyone keeps talking about, or if there are different events. I was really expecting to get Monster Hunter news sooner than this. The fact that we haven't had it yet might be a good thing. It might actually mean that they're putting some effort into the next game and are taking their time making it, instead of just pushing themselves to, I don't know, respond to the momentum, the traction. Just, I see no point in that, really. I think that if you just focus on the current momentum of popularity with Monster Hunter and nothing else, or if you focus on that to the exclusion of making a good fucking video game, that's when things are going to go backwards. So I think Capcom might be approaching it in the right way, at least when it comes to that. I could be wrong. They might just say, hey guys, new Monster Hunter in the next 3 months, and then everything that I just said will be rendered irrelevant, but I very much doubt that that would happen. Now, if you have, let's say, activated Sorcerer Navlan. He will spawn here, and he will fuck up your day. Quite royally. It is there, I think, isn't it? Yeah, he will spawn right here, and Navlan... You don't want to have to deal with him. 20th anniversary is in March. I don't believe that. I don't for 1 second believe that the 20th anniversary is necessarily going to herald an announcement for a new Monster Hunter game. It's going to involve something. They're going to do something for the 20th anniversary. But I don't for 1 second think that if the game that they're working on next is not on track to be finished by a time that they can set in stone, or if the development of the next game is not on track sufficiently to give us game trailers, that they're going to use the anniversary to tease that game. I just don't think so. Because the anniversary is not about the next game, it's about the series, and about the history of the series. Yes, it's an auspicious occasion enough to do something like that, but I don't think that we should expect to get a reveal for the next game on the 20th anniversary. It just doesn't make sense. You know, it's like saying that with, I don't know, any other game series. The next Call of Duty game will be announced on the 25th anniversary of Call of Duty. You know, I mean, okay. Yeah, how old is Call of Duty? It's probably about as old as Monster Hunter. I can't remember when the first one came out, maybe 2003, 2004, something like that. I genuinely don't remember, because it was PlayStation 2, I'm pretty sure, the original one. It's probably like between 2002 and 2003, I would say, is when the first Call of Duty came out. I just wanted to give the most, you know, basic example I could. Now, when I was talking about being far away from the last bonfire, I was obviously hinting that we were approaching another one, and this is the other one. We are now in the Dragon Shrine, which is the next stage of this location. Is Aldir going to show up? Yeah, he is. He's only little because he's got a small building surrounding him. First Call of Duty was 2003, fair enough. So it's about the same age as Monster Hunter. See, there's no point actually allowing this guy to talk because there's nothing to listen to. It's just... which is, quite frankly, unhelpful. What is your choice? Yes, I guess? I was about to say, I'm Aldir, but that's not what he sounds like. Way to add an NPC into the game after its original release that literally adds nothing to the experience. It probably detracts from the experience, to be honest. Like, I'm trying to play the game, and the next thing you know, there's an explosion, and then I have to listen to for 2 minutes. I mean, what the fuck are you... Just leave me alone, let me play. And it's important information for those of you who don't know. I'm playing the original version right now. You see, when this game came out, the original version, he didn't exist. That was just an update to the game after the DLCs came out. So, you know, I'm pleased to say that if I were to launch this game on PlayStation 3, provided I didn't update the game, and I think I would have an option to do that if I didn't want to play online, you know, I would actually be able to play a version of Dark Souls 2 where that prick didn't come out at various bonfires to regale me with which, quite frankly, would be a better viewing experience and playing experience. So we would both benefit. Okay. Because it's not just that he speaks in a low tone, it's that he doesn't actually speak properly. Right, now that I've actually got some souls, because I've been killing these dragons, we're going to... No items are in need of repair. Are you quite certain about that? Did I already repair it? Am I going crazy? Maybe the second dragon ring didn't actually break. Because, you know, obviously when you sit at a bonfire, all of the things that are that have durability will automatically be brought back to full, but I was pretty damn sure that this ring broke, so unless I somehow repaired it subconsciously and didn't even realize, but I don't think that would have happened. I don't have an explanation. It looks like... Well, no, I do have an explanation. It's that it didn't actually break. Well, there's nothing to repair, so that's self-explanatory. How about we try to reinforce this weapon? we can actually get this to +4, I think, which would be excellent. Now, I'm not... Well, I should look to see what I've got here. I do have this as well, and I had completely forgotten about this. So, what sort of damage are we dealing with here? 244 physical damage, in addition to 244 lightning, which is pretty good, even if you're dealing with an enemy with a bit of lightning resistance. This is 189. Well, which one has the most potential to be? Yeah, I think no matter what, the lightning lost Sinner Sword is the best choice. No matter what. Although I am tempted to just change to a different weapon, because I've been using this so much yet. Listen. Tempting as it is to upgrade the thing that's strongest, it has to be said that I've been using this weapon for a lot of recordings now. Let's change to something different. I should... Oh, hold on. I don't think I have enough strength to use it. That's an important point. I might have to two-hand it. I'm sure I can two-hand it successfully. Let's have a look. I cannot two-hand it. Or am I deficient in another aspect? I am. I do not have enough intelligence to use the thing. Okay. My intelligence is exceptionally low. That does not preclude me from upgrading this weapon, it just means that I can't use it immediately. What should I do? Oh, that's right, the key to the embedded. I remember using this in the past. I think it used to be better. I think in an original patch, it was, or let's say an unpatched, or earlier patched version of the game, I think this was a better weapon. And then they had to, because it's effectively a free weapon, once you get to a certain point in the game, I think they decided to make it weaker. But it's a cool design. It's a key sword. Key to the embedded. That's true. My character is literally too stupid to use that big hammer, because my intelligence is too low. I don't know why I had never made that connection before, but yeah, that's right. Alright. So, I'm not going to use any petrified dragon bones, and the reason why is because I take exception to the very idea of using upgrade materials on a thing that I cannot currently use. I don't know what it is, it grates me. Or rather, I find it to be grating. And so, I'm not going to do that. Let's peruse our consumable souls and perhaps upgrade. And by upgrade, I mean level up. How about we be consistent with the terms that we use? I have 69,000 souls. That should be enough to level up once. I have got no idea what my level ups are looking like. Well, I thought once. It's in fact twice. I might put those points into intelligence. The sooner I can get to whatever it is, 11, 12 intelligence, the better. I'm not going to... Well, having said that though, maybe it would be more prudent to boost a stat that is going to be immediately helpful to me, and then just worry about this intelligence stat when I am grinding the Giant Lord. And I will have so many souls at that point that upgrading intelligence to 12 will be a doddle. So I really don't have to worry about doing it now. It just doesn't feel right. These souls that I have here are hard-earned souls. So I think I'm going to use them to an end that is a little more practical and helpful. What am I going to most benefit from at this point? You know what, let's increase our endurance because, well no, what is most helpful for equip load? My equip load is low, so I need to increase that. I don't like the fact that I've been fat rolling. Let's do that. I like vitality as an increase. Am I going to be able to fast roll now? Doubtful. But, oh no, we can. I don't know if you saw before, but we were rolling really slowly. We were effectively fat rolling. I think this is a little better. A little faster. So, let's go with that. I don't know how... Let me actually check my audio. Oh, my Discord's going crazy. Thanks for letting me know. That's my friend. My protocol is to mute Discord before I go live, but obviously I forgot to do it this time. That just means that you're going to have to endure that sound a few times. But rest assured it will not happen again. Thanks for letting me know. What am I doing? So, I forgot what I was saying even. Memory point? Memory point? Something to trigger a memory of what I was talking about? Anything? Something to do with... so, I was talking about my mobility? I don't remember. I'll remember in a moment, I'm sure. Let's go back to the dragon area. Yeah, I completely forgot what I was talking about now. Alright. So, we should be able to progress to the end of this. All we need to do is talk to a dragon. That's all we need to do. And that dragon is going to give us an item which will allow us to access the giant memories. I don't think there's anything else that we need for that. It's literally just getting to this point of the game, and then that will be fine. I should mention that we have absolutely no need to even make use of homewood anymore. We do have the aged feather. I don't know how I forgot that. Good day. I actually thought that I would have successfully rolled through that, but I did not. Now, one of the best medium shields you can get in the game is the one that this guy is currently using. I've used it in a lot of my builds. It's sort of like a Silver Knight shield from Dark Souls, in that it's just... you can parry with it, but it's still really robust in its capabilities. It's among the best. You can see that the amount of damage we're doing, despite not having upgraded this weapon at all, is entirely reasonable. So it's not like I have decided to forego upgrading this weapon and I'm seeing an immediate ramification for that. Like, oh, I'm being destroyed by these enemies, it's taking so long to kill them. No. I am well equipped to deal with this area. And yet that guy wanted to criticize my weapon, which is lovely. I think my response to him was something like... I can't remember what it was. It was something like, would you like to have a conversation about it, or would you like to continue being ignorant? And he didn't quite know how to respond. He was like, what are you talking about? And then, yeah, I allowed him to go and forget about it, and then I subsequently forgot about it as well. It was better for everyone. Now, if you use a Pharos Lockstone here, it will allow you to break this wall, and it will give you access to Oswald of Karim's set from Dark Souls. I don't have a reason to get that set here, so I'm not going to waste a Lockstone. Good day. This guy's got a big hammer. Oh, just try not to come off second best on account of his range. He does have a lot of range. Bit of stamina management going on here. Oh, that sudden follow-up attack is not all that nice. There's his range. And there's one more attack. Oh, I thought... yeah, I knew it. He was continuing his combo. I'm sorry, but that number of attacks is just unfair with a weapon of that size. You need to take it easy. Alright. So how far are we? Like, I'm gonna stop my live stream around... what? It's only 10:26? Oh, well, shit. Yeah. No, I reckon I can do a 2 hour. Can't I? Well, it's only 40 minutes, so... yeah, I can do a 2 hour live stream today. I think. No, not quite. No, I can do a 2 hour. That's manageable. I'll do that. I said that I wouldn't, but I don't know, maybe I didn't really consider the time of day that I started my live stream correctly. Oh, I thought I had raised my shield. It's quite clear that I did not, because I took a hit squarely in the face. Ow. It's sort of like getting hit with... What's the name of that miracle? It's called force, I think. It pushes you back a little bit. It doesn't actually hurt you. It's coming from the dragons above me. And it's really just an inconvenience more than anything else. Because I believe when I've been hit by that, it's not like I can then be hit by another person. I do have an invulnerability period. What I would imagine is that the invulnerability period does go away before you actually pick yourself up off the ground. So it is still a risk. Oh, what the fuck? That did actually hurt me, I think. Yes, I know. Oh, you are not following up there. Can you, like, raise your weapon? Yeah, good. Get out of my face. So, there's a guy up here who's... Oh, he's conjuring things. Oh no, that was a dragon. Don't think that I'm going crazy. The dragons do shoot things. I just thought he was conjuring something. It looked as if he was. Yeah, no. Sometimes being aggressive helps. I do absolutely prefer this version of Dark Souls 2 to Scholar of the First Sin. Also, welcome back, Gunzolino. I feel like I haven't seen you in a very long time. I do remember the name of every person who's ever watched me live. I just do. I mean, unless that person literally only turned up once, ever. But, welcome back. It's good to see you. I've said it before, and I'll say it again for your benefit. Scholar of the First Sin felt like a Dark Souls 2 randomizer. It saw no benefit to the experience of playing Dark Souls 2. It had no place. It simply didn't need to exist, but it did, to somehow extend the longevity of Dark Souls 2. I don't know what they were thinking. Did they think it was a revised version? Like, was this their idea of improving the game? It didn't come across that way at all. It just felt like a randomizer. Oh, how about you play this different version? And when I say randomizer, it didn't feel crafted. It felt like monsters, or I say monsters because I'm so used to playing Monster Hunter. It felt like enemies had just been randomly placed in different locations just for the sake of it, just so it could be different. Oh, this guy's excited. Yeah, come on, man. I'm not afraid of you. Well, now I sort of am, because you're swinging that weapon around way too quickly. Gunzolino, if this is a good time for you, I'm happy to say... Oh, for fuck's sake. Now I have to do all that again. Not all of that, just a lot of that again. If this is a good time for you, then this is going to be one of my more frequent streaming times. I've just recently moved. Basically, I've moved in with my girlfriend, and I would prefer not to go live in the evening, just in case I keep her up at night. My room is, like, this room here is not great for sound. Like, my voice is really reverberating in this room. And so, I don't want that to keep her up at night. So, it's actually, she works morning shifts, I work evening shifts. So, while she's at work in the morning for me, it's better for me to record at that time. So, yeah. This is probably going to be the way I proceed when it comes to recording. So if this is workable for anyone watching now, I would say expect more of that. Definitely expect more of that. And it works anyway, because I'm not going to say that I'm not in the mood to record after work, but I am a little more tired. Like I am... Can you stop? Don't you dare cause me to lose any souls that I have acquired thus far. Don't you dare. The difficulty there was that I was having to contend with the dragon who was shooting his ranged magic at me. Or breathing his ranged magic, whatever you want to call it, I don't care. I feel like I do not have enough Estus Flasks in this game. I need to get more Estus Flasks. What are they? Yeah, Estus Flask shards, that's what they're called. I need to get more. I do not have enough. I'm going to go two-handed and just beat on you, I think. No! Oh, I just lost some souls. I don't know how many. Maybe 30,000, something like that. Any amount is not good. You could see what caused my death there. Impatience. Impatience is a toxic thing to introduce into anyone's Souls gameplay. As soon as you become impatient, that is when you will start to make mistakes. That is when you will make irrational decisions that you will know that they are decisions that are unhelpful given the circumstances, but you still go ahead with it because you're frustrated. You want to get ahead faster than you otherwise would. But then if you just die, you lose out more than you would have if you just took your time. So that's really the big learning curve in a Souls game. Like, people talk about Souls not being difficult, or talk about Souls being difficult. Well, I think the most worthwhile contribution to that debate is that people who are patient by nature in video games or just outside of video games are probably going to see more success early on in their Souls experience than people who are not patient. You know, patience is rewarded so handsomely in this game, or in this game series, that really is the best way to approach this whole, I suppose, formula of gaming. Observe and... oh, shit. Are you following up? I can't see what you're doing. You motherfucker. I can see what's going on. Do you see how he just doesn't stop? Much like me, at close range, he's fucking useless. Remember when I was talking about how so many weapon types just feel ineffective at point-blank range? Well, he's swinging his giant hammer at me at point-blank range and he's missing, so... that's one of the rare examples of the enemies of the game having to suffer the same setbacks as the player, so... hey, Simply Room. Welcome back. Feels good to be live again. After my big move. Yeah, the live stream's not perfect. There's still room for improvement. But I'm happy to see you all here, and I'm happy to be live again. Feels good. Feels like putting my hand into an old glove, even though it's only been about 2 weeks since I last went live. Yeah, they don't stagger. It's because they're so huge. I mean, you look at the size of them, and their massive armor. It stands to reason that they wouldn't stagger. And that's one of the things that makes them difficult. It's because, like, when you hit them, that's just you getting an opportunity to deal some damage. You're not going to get an actual stagger. You're not going to have another opportunity as a result. All you can do is attack when it's safe. And, yeah, it does make for a bit of a challenging confrontation, but the more damage you're dealing, the better. Obviously, it shortens the confrontation and it reduces the number of times that you have to get that hit in when it's safe. And I did have an opportunity to upgrade this sword and chose not to take it. But you can see that it's still, like, this weapon is still perfectly acceptable for this game. Now, this guy last time, yeah, so he goes back and then this one pursues. It is always going to be advantageous to you to fight on the stairs if you're below the enemy. The same can be said for the reverse. So, if you're fighting an enemy and they are below you on the stairs, you're going to have problems. This is actually a universal truth in Souls in general. It's not just this game, it's in all of them. Stairs are an interesting dynamic. See how he just slightly delays that attack? That's why it's very important to learn. No, you don't. That's one of the things that they changed in Dark Souls 2. What they do is that they change the attack pattern of the enemy to reflect your vulnerability. So if you, in that moment, are at low health, they'll just go for it. They'll just deal that fucking killing blow. They're hungry. They hunger for that kill. You can actually feel it. Now, I don't mind that. That's one change with Dark Souls 2 that I don't mind. I think Dark Souls 2 was designed with a very basic mindset, and that was, how do we make every aspect of Dark Souls harder? It created a pretty shit game, but I think that aspect of it is okay, and the reason why is because it feels more dynamic. It feels like the enemies have more to them. I'm trying to heal! For fuck's sake. Yeah, alright. You know, the big problem here is that I'm becoming increasingly frustrated. I mean, I talked about it before. Anyway. I think that's the big problem with those giant hammer-wielding guys. It's that they just keep swinging. They don't stop. And then when you think there's an opportunity, he's like, oh no, there's more. Still going. The reason why I keep hitting them or keep fighting them is because I'm trying to get souls from them. I'm trying to benefit from killing them. You know, that's sort of the idea. You kill enemies, you get souls, you level up. That's the simple and very effective formula to progressing through souls, but I'm being encouraged to just do it the old-fashioned way, the old, yeah, well, that didn't work, did it? And they also figured out ways to make it harder to do that as well. So I'll have to open that door, right? Like that door up there, I will have to open, and if I'm dealing with two of those guys at one time, it's not going to work. My only option is to kill every single one of these guys, I think. Which really sucks. I'm really frustrated by that. I will rest at the bonfire so that I don't have to actually consume anything to recover this health. And let's just do it again. Do it again, and then do it again, and then do it again. If you keep failing, that is the only way you can do it. And then as long as you can stay calm and not get increasingly angry or impatient, every time you have to do it again, you will get a little better. It's that fortitude that gets you through a Souls game. And that was the skill that I learned. When people want to know, like, what's the big skill that you get out of Dark Souls? Yeah, sure, you do start to understand the mechanics of the game, but it's the way that you approach it. Oh, for fuck's sake. I'm getting really sick of these dragons flying above. Your approach to the game is very important. It's probably 60 to 70% of what will bring you success. So, learning that that is important and necessary, well, I should say essential, is one of the skills that you will learn. Knowing that you just have to keep calm and just be persistent. And that's the big learning curve. And then some people just don't want that out of their gaming experience. They encounter that and they're like, no, I don't like this. I don't like having to do that while playing a game. Being forced to, when I'm failing, literally just keep trying over and over and over again. That's why I say that, you know, people talk about this game being difficult, or they did in the past. They probably talk about it less now. I think in the actual wider mainstream gaming world, that is still a discussion. It's a pretty stupid discussion to have, but really, it's only because games changed so much that this became difficult. You play a retro game, it's the same idea. It's the idea that when you fail, your only recourse is to try again, and you will have to do it again, and again, and again, until you work it out. That's what you had to do. This is the same idea. So, you know, it's only the people who got so used to the way modern games play. What? Who cast that? Did you just see that? That was a fucking soul arrow that just hit me. What was that, and where did it come from? Holy shit. Oh, it's that guy. Please. Just come over here. I'll deal with you first, I don't care. No. Don't turtle me, man. Either of you. I don't care. Just one of you has to pursue me, please. I'm not dealing with both of you, and in fact, prior to this point, there's been no indication that that's what you've been going for. You seem quite happy to just go one at a time, but now you're just testing my patience. Oh my god, look, he's pursuing me. No, no, please, stop! Fuck. So one of the good things about Estusing, or the consumption of Estus in this game, is that even though the initial drinking animation is slow, you can double down on it. Once you have the Estus flask on your lips, you can press the button again and drink again. That's one of the things that I'm happy that they introduced. It was a way of balancing the slow consumption speed, I think. You know, that animation being so slow, they realized that they needed to at least do something to counterbalance that. And that was what they did. They made it so that it was not a set animation that had to complete and then begin again for you to be able to consume another Estus flask. You can actually, like, once you've got it there, you can drink as many as you want. You can drink all of them. Not that you would need to. You wouldn't have enough health to be able to recover that much. But, oh, now life gems are what we want here. I do not want this guy to take advantage of any vulnerability that I am showing him. Again, I can see some soul arrows going out. If I get hit by one of those at low health, I'm going to have a serious problem, so let's be careful. I should mention that once I get past this point, that's not the end. There's a lot more that I have to deal with. I've noticed that while my damage in this area is acceptable, sufficient, my defense is not. My defense is lackluster. And that's causing issues. Alright. Come on. Just need him to drop his gun. Am I being attacked by dragons? Or is it... It is that guy casting shit at me. Okay. So, let's roll through here. Oh, maybe I'll open the door first. Let's open that door. That might be helpful. Technically, I never had to open this door now that I think about it. It was always an option. I could have elected not to bother. So that takes me straight up there. There's another direction I can go in. There are some chests to open. And I seem to recall that they are useful chests. So, now that I've opened those doors, that really helps me going forward. I think one of these is a mimic as well. Let's just make sure no one's around. Okay, so how do you spot a mimic in this game? Let's find out. Looks like the coloration is slightly different in the chest. It is slight. Oh, so there's actually a lock on this chest. Okay. Or a latch of some kind. So there's a latch, and then there isn't one. This is a real chest. That's interesting. Titanite slab. Well, that's important. As for this guy, I don't know if I'm ready to fight him, but we'll give it a try. Oh, yeah. No! I forgot that he does that. No. Turn and hit him. How did he get me? I think I can still get that pickup. It's a little different, I think, with... I could be wrong. I could be entirely wrong. I was thinking it might be different with mimics. Maybe you can still get their pickup after the fact, but if I've missed it, then fair enough. I don't know what it is. I've got no idea. But, yeah, that was really annoying. I don't even know how I died, actually. I don't know what hit me. Maybe it was a dragon. Maybe a dragon fired something at me and just dealt that last killing blow. Annoying as it is, I shouldn't be surprised. Shouldn't be surprised. Because they're constantly lobbing these things at me. Yeah, it's gone. Oh well. Just have to live with it, I suppose. Now, this is going to be a bit challenging. This fellow? I don't know what to expect with him. Is he scary? Yes. Do I have good guard break? Yes. Do I have lightning damage which allows me to hurt him through his shield? Yes. I do. This is going to be a confrontation of stamina management, in a big way. I'm not going to do more than one attack. You can see that if I do more than one attack against this guy, I will have problems. You need to just stop. Okay. Backing away. Where's the door? There's the door. I don't think he can actually get through this doorway. He can't. That's very good. I want to make use of my Estus flasks. I should add that there will be some enemies up ahead that I'm not going to deal with. I just need to talk to the dragon. Once I talk to the dragon, we're under control. We're all done here. I need him to do more. I shouldn't have rolled. I rolled because I thought that I wouldn't be able to guard in time. I thought that maybe I'd still be reacting to the last impact from his weapon. So anyway. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't actually recall a time that I died this much in the dragon area. I am cognizant of that. I realize what's going on. I realize that the way I'm playing is at a lower standard than I can even remember playing at any point in this game. But do you know what? I don't really care. I'm just having fun. So, I don't know. It's a good thing. It's good to be detached from your own atrocious performance. You know, there was a time when I was playing Souls games where this sort of play simply, it was unheard of for me, but fortunately I'm detached enough to not be bothered by it, so it's a good thing. Definitely a positive. Because otherwise I'd just be getting angry. There's no point being that invested, you know. Not now. So the good thing is that I don't have to worry about him blocking all of my damage. He obviously doesn't have much Thunder Guard on that... oh, sorry, my webcam moved there. Whatever you're doing, you do it. And there we go. He will drop Drake Keeper boots. Vengar's boots. Right, so I have Jester's gloves, I think, to... yeah, increase number of souls acquired. That's helpful. Happy to have that. Alright, this is another entranceway to the stairs that we saw before. Or is it not? Maybe it's not. I don't know. Dragonfang Village. Oh yeah, I know this route. It's a little different. Let's deal with Dragonfang Village first. Or is he ahead of where we are? I don't even know. Yes, so this is a separate area entirely. This does not actually reach the dragon eventually. But there are some good pickups. There's even a dragon egg. What you can do with it, I don't remember, but there's a dragon egg. There you are. Dragonfang Village. So there's going to be some regular enemies that look exactly like this guy and probably fight exactly like him too. Their armor is golden. And there's a lot of them actually. I'm going to run past them because, quite frankly, I haven't the patience to deal with them. There you go. I should be making more use of that strong attack because that follow-up is very good. So that's slow, but then the follow-up is quick. It's a very quick overhead. And if you can successfully get 2 of those strong attacks out, not much is going to survive, to be honest. When I mentioned a dragon egg, do you think this might be it? Petrified egg, the whole thing fucking disappears. I just shoved that up my arse. Nobody questions anything because it's a video game. And what's this? Crystal magic weapon. I'm not making use of that, obviously, but that's a very good spell to have. Why do these doors not fucking stay open? That is absurd. That's offensive. I can't even believe I managed to open that door while that guy was there. I never would have expected that I could manage that. Alright. So, now, I'm just gonna run. I think. Yeah, let's run. Go. Ugh! No! Get the fuck away from me. Does anyone have ranged attacks? Oh my god, look how fast he is. Ah! You! Get away from me. I can deal with one of you, I don't care. Like, one of you? That's... Whoa, look at him go! He's so fast. And they stop pursuing me. Why do you think? It's because there's a dragon. The thing that they worship is over this way. I'm so glad that they leash there because... Look, I'm sorry, it's a little bit of a cop-out, but I'm able to do it. It's something that you can do in the game. You can run past enemies. You know, if you decide that you don't want to have the souls that you would otherwise get from killing them, you can just not fight them. That's me right now. I've had enough of this area. This guy doesn't talk either. He has words on the screen, but you can't understand it. The curse of life is the curse of want. It's probably not a bad quote. The curse of life is the curse of want. I don't think it's a curse, though. I think, like anything, you just find a balance. There's nothing wrong with wanting things, but if you allow it to consume you, yes, 'tis a curse. Alright, so what we just got is the Ashen Mist Heart. It is a key item. Wherever it is. Hello? There it is. Ashen Mist Heart. Delve into the memories of the withered. Now, what are the withered? You will see these very, almost husk-like corpses of giants in the... What am I doing? In the Forest of Fallen Giants location. And all of these will actually give you access to memories of giants. And the actual gameplay-related reason as to why you go into these memories is because you get giant souls, and with each giant soul that you have in your inventory, it will actually lower the health of King Vendrick. Now, Vendrick is a boss that you must kill in the game, as I recall, and he has so much starting health without having any giant souls. They are Soul of a Giant, I think they're called. He has so much health that he's basically unkillable. You get one soul, he's technically killable at that point, but it's very hard. 2, very hard. 3, possible. 4, easy, just about. You might even be able to get as many as 5 souls, I don't remember. But, of course, the reason why we're doing this at this point is not to progress through the game, although that is important, and we will need to do that at some point. Our priority at this stage is working on our character and getting souls from the Giant Lord, and we will of course set aside the bonfire for that giant memory so that we can continue killing him. Getting those souls is going to be essential to building our rather poorly developed faith build. So there you go. I'll be back in a moment. I need to go to the bathroom, and then we will continue. Ethan, you came, like, just as I went to the toilet. And you didn't even do the thing where you say, he's pooping, guys. What a shame. Missed opportunity, right? I like how you say the one game we didn't beat together. You see, that's really misleading, Ethan, because what it suggests is that we properly played it at all. I mean, literally, I think Ethan and I spent maybe 30 minutes playing the game, and then as soon as he realized that there was no way for us to summon each other to help one another, because there was no password system, well, what I mean is there was no password system for the summoning of each other, so literally it was just waiting until one of our signs happened to appear. As soon as he heard that, he was like, nah, we're not doing it. It's not happening. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, when he says we didn't beat it, it's like... No, like we barely got to the Forest of Fallen Giants, for God's sake. Alright, so... I suppose the first thing that I'll do is demonstrate the Giant Lord confrontation. That's going to be what we first deal with. It's getting a bit dark. I realise that my... Yeah, that looks pretty bad. Fortunately the green screen's still okay, but my visage is insufficiently lit at the moment as far as I'm concerned. It'll probably get better, I don't know. But that's just one of the things that I'm dealing with right now while my room light literally is not working. So I can assure you it will improve in time. It's just this is what it has to be for now. I will probably wait maybe a week before going live again, I will warn you, and the only reason why is because I need to deal with that light. It's a non-standard light, it's like a circular thing. It's a ring tube. I don't even know how to detach it to start with. I can buy them, they're only $30, but I don't know what process is involved with detaching it, so... Anyway, I'll do it, but it's just not going to be an immediate thing. Still have a lot of stuff to do. Alright, so we'll go to the place unbeknownst, which is the King's Door, basically. It's on the other side of the King's Door. We don't have to actually equip the ring because we've already got a shortcut into that area, which is good. And, yeah. I don't think I'm going to bother using a human effigy unless I need to. No, I don't think I need to. So, what we shall do... And keeping in mind, of course, that we will be using bonfire ascetics, we do have 6, but that's not actually relevant because each time we go into this particular giant's memory, we are going to get a free one, which is crazy. You know, I thought they would have patched it out, they never did. So maybe it was always intended that you do this, that you grind souls through this particular boss, but I'm going to rest at this bonfire just to make sure that this is where I'm going to aged feather back to, and oh, maybe I already picked up the stuff here, now that I think about it, seeing as though I've already been here. Yeah, I already picked up, I think it's Twinkling Titanite down there, yeah. So, all we need to do now is just engage the Giant Lord boss. This is our first giant memory that we are accessing, so I am going to play the cutscene for it. So we are going back into the past. When you go back into the past through a giant's memory, everything turns into sort of a grayscale. It's not quite grayscale, but you can see that the colours are largely reduced. And, yeah. It's just to indicate that you're in the past, I suppose. Now, the best thing to do is to head up here, get your bonfire ascetic. You can see that I just narrowly missed one of the falling meteors there. Well, giant rock things, I guess is what we'll say. Head into the side here. That falling head ideally will hit the giants. It looks like it hasn't done. I'm actually shocked that it didn't. They can't pursue you, but that's... Yeah, ideally you do have that rolling head kill the giants. It makes life easier. We just had some rocks fall there, so we'll now engage our friend the Giant Lord. He often, well, he always, I think, has an opening swinging of the sword there. target a leg, I always recommend the left one. And then it's a dance at that point. Turns into a dance. It's a very, very easy boss fight once you understand the rhythm. Once you understand his AI, once you make sense of it. Easy to deal with. Almost no challenge. As you start to get to really high levels of new game, as you asceticize the bonfire, there will be obviously less and less room for error. But again, you know, because it is an easy boss fight, generally you'll just do it one more time and then you'll get it right. I did get hit there. That would have been death if this were a higher level of new game. But I am slightly out of practice, to be fair. You can see that just for the standard new game boss fight, no bonfire aesthetic in use at this stage, it's pretty easy. And he's dead. Goodbye. Victory achieved. If you are a pyromancer, this is a good place for you as well, and I'll tell you why. It's because you get fire seeds here. An infinite supply, I might add. I'll pick up this. Hold on. I almost got killed. Old Radiant Life Gem. I'd say that's useful to pick up each time. May as well. Buy a ring light. Okay, so what I will tell you, Ethan, is that when you're in a room that has no light in it, so I'm saying this is a room, like a bedroom, imagine a bedroom, and there's no working light in that room, the answer is not to then get a ring light. The answer is to get a working light in the room, and then if you need additional lighting, then you get a ring light. You know what I mean? I'm not, you know, dogging your suggestion. A ring light might be helpful, I don't know. But a ring light's always helpful. Whether or not it's necessary, I can't say. But, you know, my problem here is that this bedroom has no fucking light that's working in it. So, at the moment, my lighting is substandard. It's unideal. So, yeah. You guys can't see my souls. I will show you my souls. 103,400. So that's just after killing one of them. And let me tell you, we can do that many more times. Many more times. Let's actually demonstrate that now. So, if I burn a bonfire ascetic, that is going to give us a brand new Giant Lord to fight. What is done cannot be undone. Well, just as well, that is precisely what I intended to do, so I'm not going to regret it. You do get the cutscene every time. You feel dogged. No, it's, I think it's more to do with the fact that you didn't understand what I was talking about more than anything else. I don't think you understood it and then proceeded to give me an irrelevant suggestion. I think you just didn't quite know what was going on with my setup, so now that I have informed you, now you know. That's why I'm having lighting issues. Keeping away from those. Alright, so that giant head is going to kill that giant, and then the other giant's dead as well. That's the ideal situation. I got hit by that, annoyingly. I guess it's better to create more distance between yourself and the sword in that moment. Unless I did get hit by the falling flaming rocks. I call them meteors, it just feels right. You know, flaming rock falling from the sky. Meteor is a good word to use. It just feels descriptive, adequately so, and it's what naturally comes to mind. Let's be careful here. Make sure that we're not getting hit by any more attacks. We are now in New Game Plus, effectively. So, while we are still dealing good damage, which is natural for New Game Plus, the big increase in difficulty in New Game Plus is not the amount of health that enemies have, it's the amount of damage that they deal to you. So, as I fight this Giant Lord, I'm going to be experiencing much more... the boss is going to hit much harder, but it's going to be a pretty quick fight still. You're going to be seeing a lot of this in my Dark Souls 2 livestream series, by the way. Me fighting this guy, me just doing the dance with him. And it is a bit of a dance, it just feels like one. There's a rhythm to it. It involves two people. And things adjust. Oh, for fuck's sake. I wasn't too sure what he was doing there because that was a weird spot. I can't believe I just died there, that's really annoying. It's alright, I suppose I'm slightly out of practice. We'll try one more time. It's very important that we get those souls back. It'll be a waste if we don't. I just like to have a lot of souls to use all at one time. I'm greedy like that. It's fun. It's fun to have just so many souls that you almost don't even know what to do with them. I'll probably use a human effigy as well. I'm going up here to avoid the flaming rocks. Alright. The big head is going to start falling. I will use a human effigy. You will not have to engage the Giant Lord until you are in his range, so I can actually stay right here, and it'll be fine. So I'll engage him and then avoid that ranged attack. And then I close the distance, pick up my soul, and then we're good to go. I probably should be doing these strong attacks here, actually. Might speed it up. Rolled there, which was the right thing to do, otherwise I would have been hit. If I do the strong attack, maybe that'll make things faster, I'm not sure. I'm not going to do the follow-up, that feels dangerous. It's not good to have him in the corner here. You've obviously got less movement. You don't really want to be in front of him. It does coax him into an attack that's very easy to deal with, but if you're standing there, it's not a good moment. Oh, shit, I didn't realize what he was doing. Either I zoned out or... Oh, what's he doing? Oh, he's doing that frontal attack I was just talking about. See, his little turning swings. It's better not to... lead... Oh, fucking hell. I can't even see what's happening. I will heal again. Just want to make sure that I'm not going to get killed when he next hits me. It's important. My souls, by the way, are 129,360. Pretty good. It's about to increase even further. So keep in mind that while you do get the souls from the dead Giant Lord, and once you get to the New Game Plus 1 version, or rather, yeah, New Game Plus, once you get to New Game Plus with this boss, you will start to receive Ring of Giants plus 2, which will increase your poise to the maximum amount that the Ring of Giants can increase it. What am I drinking? I'm drinking gin out of a really inappropriate glass. I hope that my... Yeah, this is just getting darker and darker, isn't it? My visual appearance. It's okay. It's manageable. You can still see me, and the green screen is still working, so that's what's important. So yeah, Ring of Giants plus 2. I don't know if I'm actually going to use it. So having poise is very helpful, but this... Wait, hold on. So Stone Ring is sort of the opposite. So poise damage versus poise for your character I don't know what's more helpful to me at this point. I might actually replace the Ring of Steel Protection with Ring of Giants +2. Sounds like a plan. Oh god, that's gonna hit me. Ah! I did shield it. I'm sure that prevented me from dying. Just to get an update on the number of souls that I have, it is 294,000. I don't think I actually completed the thought that I was trying to express before, but that is that while you do get souls from the giant itself, you do actually get these as well. So these are separately consumable. I will double check to see what I can actually make out of this. I generally just use them for souls, so I don't think there's much you can do with it. So this here is what I was talking about before as well, Soul of a Giant. Once you have 4 of these, go and fight King Vendrick. That's pretty much the way to do it. Alright. So, I will check Giant Lord's Soul and see what I can actually make with it, if anything. Giant Lord's Soul can be used to acquire Repel. What is Repel? It is a hex, which does what? Stronger version of Twisted Barricade, with the cost of taking 3 attunement slots and has less, or rather 5 less possible casts than Twisted Barricade. I don't know what Twisted Barricade is. Why is it the first thing that you... Okay, so... A hex that distorts local space. For a brief moment, no damage can be inflicted. Okay. For how long does it last? It gives you complete invulnerability for 1.5 seconds after the initial cast, unaffected by lingering Dragon Crest Ring. This hex is particularly useful in fighting enemies with extremely damaging attacks. It does not diminish damage taken from Iron Keep's flaming floors. Well, that's because it's environmental damage. Right. Okay. So yeah, you're able to actually get as many repels as you want, because obviously it's made from the Giant Lord Soul, which you can get as many as you want of. So there you go. Very good. So I don't think I'm going to make use of it. I can technically use hexes if I want to, because they do incorporate faith as well as intelligence, but I'm not really going for a what you could possibly call a magic version of a quality build, where it's going to be high faith and high intelligence. I want to focus on faith. That is the focal point of the build. It is always tempting to have sort of a power fantasy set up when you've got so many souls at your disposal that you can basically boost your stats in any direction you want. But I'm not going to do that. It just doesn't feel right. I'm going to focus on faith and just have that go through the roof, and I will then just upgrade my intelligence as much as is required to use whatever I want to use for the build. So at the moment, that requirement is 12. I am quite below that. I'm only at 4, so I will increase to that point. Let me go to the far file. And what I might actually do is keep these separately. These will be for when I need to get souls for something else. Like, let's imagine I'm in a situation where I don't have enough souls to be able to do what I want to do. This will be my well of souls, from which I can draw at any time. That's a good Candlemass song, by the way. So, if I level up with you... I'm going to take my... Is it 12 or 11? I actually don't want to upgrade that more than I have to, so I'll make sure. This is, of course, the requirement to use this weapon. So, I think both Intelligence and Faith will link to Dark Damage BNS. But which has the most effect? Probably Intelligence. But that's fine. Let's take this to the required amount, and then take you to... Oh, we are at a point in the build where having that many souls is still not going to get us all of what we want in one upgrade cycle. So we're almost at 40 strength, we're getting there. Still not able to one-hand that weapon. I can, however, two-hand it, and the damage that it deals. So this is, I think, unupgraded. So we've got, yeah, unupgraded. 341 versus... Oh, fucking hell. Now, keep in mind... No, I think this also has more raw damage, so... But this is upgraded twice. Okay, so what we're doing is actually staying with this weapon for now. We will go back, and then we will get some more souls to upgrade further. Forgot where the hell I was. Yeah, I'm smart enough now. I have enough intelligence to use this weapon. Me less dumb now, because me kill Giant Lord lots of times. I forgot to asceticize the bonfire. What this actually means is that I have to go all the way to the end of the area in order to get out of here. It's kind of annoying. I'll try and not die in the meantime. Let's see what I can do. I was getting ahead of myself. Alright, that's our way out. The guy's hand has gone purple. That sounds like a pretty aggressive masturbation session. Looks like he's just laid back and he's like, oh, that's all I can do. And his hand's purple and he's dead even. Poor guy. What a champion. What a champion. It takes fucking dedication to get to that point. Sorry, it's what I visualize. Juvenile as it is. Memory of Yay. Which is exactly what you're going to say when you get all of those souls from killing the boss. As you continue to asceticize the bonfire to a higher level. Yay! It's Doomlink's idea of a joke. Here comes the head. Hopefully the giants are... Oh, no, they're not going to die, actually. Neither of them are going to die. Shocking. Alright. Come at me, sir. You can see we're still doing okay damage, it's not too bad. He was prompted to doing his head-on attack, apparently. Might do the follow-up here. Oh, that managed to hit me. I think because the movement of the Giant Lord actually caused my targeting to put me in an unfavorable position. I'm not too worried about where I am now, but if we go too much further in this direction, I'm going to have to start contending with the meteors flying down, which is no fun. You can see that I'm on the edge of the fiery explosion, so this is not really where I want to be. It's good to not be in the corner. That's helpful, but I'm not sure about this either. I need to increase my AGL. Quite obviously. Oh, what the fuck's going on? I can't see anything because I am staring at a wall. I can see bricks when I should instead be seeing the Giant Lord. I don't think the Giant Lord is affected by the environmental damage of the flaming rocks. It's probably deemed to be unfair if he could do that, or rather if he did suffer from the effects of... Did I die? I died. So close to the end. But yeah, I would assume that the game designers felt that you'd be able to take advantage of that, because those just keep coming, you see, so you'd be able to cheese the boss, I think, if that dealt damage to him. Or significant damage, anyway. Yeah, the higher you go through New Game, the less margin for error you have, so you just have to keep switched on and not fuck up like I did just there. Just to go back to the previous joke, Ethan describes that guy with the purple hand. And there's another one here, look at him. Just look at him. Poor guy. Ethan's characterization of these guys is that they are absolute heroes beating their dicks for humanity. So, yeah, to be honest, I agree. It was awe-inspiring to see that there were so many of them. I mean, look at the veins just coming out of their hands. What incredible dedication to the nut. Alright, I'll get my souls, please, and thank you. At least you get the souls from those smaller giants. Feels weird to say smaller giant. Well, smaller giant is better than small giant. If you're saying small giant, then you're just an idiot. Or rather, you will feel like an idiot. That happened because I was standing in a weird spot. Like, really weird spot. I stand by what I've said before in that this remains an easy fight. It's just... It's also possible that occasionally you'll be in an unfavorable position. You know, it does happen. And I'd say that's what happened definitely in that last confrontation. I don't know about the one previous to that, where I had almost killed him and died. That was probably just me being an idiot, but yeah, I don't know. I'm not happy about it. Starting to run low on healing wares. I'll stand in the door and then wait for the flaming rocks. Come on. He's definitely going to die. Hopefully before he takes a swing at me. He's not very interested in me, which is good. It's obviously quite important that I get my souls back. I think most annoyingly I should have actually killed 2 of them in this time, but I still have yet to kill 1, so that's literally infuriating. The stamina management is important, and I'm starting to realize that my amount of stamina is not good enough. I need more stamina than what I have, so I will actually put some thought into improving that as I use all of the souls that I get from killing these giant lords. Feels weird to say giant lords, because they're all technically the same guy. I don't know. Reaping the benefits of practically turning back time. I'm already turning back time just to fight this guy, but now I'm repeating the events of the past in order to reap the benefits of his souls that he drops. Crazy thought. Going back in time to then repeat time is a story that I don't think I've encountered. That's a new one. Kind of wacky. I suppose at that point you have exceeded your quota of time-related concepts being employed in the telling of a story. Like, okay, you can repeat time or you can time travel, but to do both is almost, you know, it's going too far. How could you do that? No, this is too ridiculous. All right. Apparently, look, Ethan is now getting to the point where he's commenting on the quality of the nut. He's saying, it wasn't a good nut either. It was like, I had to pee beforehand but didn't kind of nut. I don't know how he has extrapolated that much information from just seeing these purple-handed, dead, giant things. But, perhaps he's the, some sort of orgasm connoisseur? I don't know. Yeah, got another kill. It took a while. I struggled. I don't know why I did, but there you go. We keep getting the same Giant Lord Soul each time. And I think it might exclusively be the bosses, like the, what do you even call them? I can't remember what they're called, but basically you have maybe 4 main, they're like primal bonfires, but I don't know what the bosses are called. The bosses will give you primal bonfires, but the bosses are like special ones. Those ones, I think, as you go into New Game Plus, will give you an additional soul on top of the standard one that they give you. This guy will just always give you the Giant Lord soul. So, there you are. Because I don't trust myself, I'm just going to go and level up with these souls. I have 279,000, which is pretty good. That's about what I had after killing 2 last time. I've now only killed 1, and I've got the same amount. So, that's always good to see. We will take strength to 40. And maybe faith to 45. Sadly, that didn't increase my dark BNS at all. It might actually be ideal to increase my intelligence just for the sake of dark BNS. Because I've obviously made the decision that I want to use that hammer, so maybe I would be well played. Because I will probably be using hexes as well. I haven't actually looked through what hexes I want to make. I probably did in the past, but I don't remember what they are now. So, I'm sure I could benefit from more intelligence, so how about we take that to 15? And, well, how about that? Yeah, that's probably better. Orgasm Connoisseur was your nickname in high school. Yeah, I can imagine. You definitely strike me as that kind of guy, Ethan. Just an absolute expert in that field. Am I happy with that? Probably. The thing is, I don't need to overthink it because I can level up quite a lot after this point as well, just by using the same strategy, killing the Giant Lord over and over again. So, this is probably okay. Admittedly, I didn't address my lack of stamina that I was drawing your attention to before with this upgrade, but I guess I'm just focusing on complementing my weapon choice, and it is important that I go to another weapon, I think. I've just sort of reached that point. Now this is a great example of why having those Giant Lord souls on hand is helpful. So, oh, I can see my green screen is starting to suffer. I'll have to cut into that a little bit. We're getting towards the end of the live stream anyway, so I'm not that worried, but I'll have to... Oh, look out. Yeah, the green screen's really suffering, so you'll have to bear with me. But you can see that I'm only at 1900 souls at the moment. If I wanted to upgrade my weapon, obviously I probably don't have enough souls for that. Or maybe not obviously. Let's see what the soul requirement is. It might not be that much. But having those Giant Lord souls is literally an option for me to get more souls immediately when I need them. So I think I can upgrade this once, yes, with the souls that I have, but I will consume a Giant Lord soul just to make sure that I have plenty. I'll use one. That gives me 25,000. Not too bad. Definitely seen worse. What am I doing? I'm in the shop. I do not want to be in the shop. I want to reinforce. Let's upgrade you. I'm happy to put all of my petrified dragon bones into that. As good as this weapon is, I just want a little bit of variety. I've used it enough. I've used it plenty. There it is. Sacred Chime Hammer. I'm much heavier now. So increasing my vitality and my endurance I think will be my next objective. Vitality obviously for equip load, and then endurance for my stamina meter. I'm dealing 591 damage now. I think I was at about 471 with my previous weapon. So my dark damage is probably okay. I'm now at an A scaling with dark, and I've increased that a small amount. Yeah. Any scaling with faith? No, doesn't look like it. Now this, I believe, has a special attack. Let's see if we can create it. Here we go. So there were no targets for them, but that's the attack we're talking about. So it's going to be like a 3-pointed ranged dark attack. Goes out like that. Presumably they home in on an enemy as well. So that's our special attack. It's pretty good. Can I do it one-handed? No, I can't. Alrighty. So the video has deteriorated considerably. I'm very dark now. And I think it's about time that I ended the live stream. I was able to reach 2 hours. I'm happy about that. I was able to upgrade my character a little bit. I did not get a new armor set. I did not get any new miracles. But I have worked on my stats, and I have now gotten to the point where I can use this weapon effectively. And it is now better than the previous thing that I was using. So that's good news as well. So I think this is going to conclude the live stream. I might actually end up finishing just before 2 hours, which I can live with. It's not the end of the world. But as I said before, I'm not going to do another recording until I've got that light up there working. That's a very important light. It's going to give me something to work with in terms of lighting. At the moment, I'm just not in a good way. I don't have much to work with, and it's negatively affecting the visual quality of the live stream. So I think I'll wait. But consider this a form of update video, a way of me saying, hey, I'm still here, still doing live streams, obviously. And yeah, it's an update while I'm also playing a game and contributing to some form of upload schedule. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. I will see you next time I am live, which will probably be in about 7 days, or hopefully a little less. And in the meantime, I will bid you all farewell. Catch you later.